Antique doors and gateways can be found all over the world, though some of these doors may be much more than they appear on the surface. Throughout history, researchers have wondered if there may be portals to other dimensions scattered all around us. We've found the locations of many ancient doorways that seem to serve no purpose, at least not in modern times. Though many theorists have begun to wonder if such doorways may have once been used by humans or giants as a way to travel through different dimensions, maybe even to other planets. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot about history that has yet to be discovered. Today, we'll be looking at several mysterious portals that may lead to another dimension. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos. Stonehenge. No video about ancient portals would be complete without talking about Stonehenge. This is one of the most famous places that people have speculated could have once been home to a mystical portal between worlds. Even though we've researched this monument for decades, there's still so much that we don't know about it. For one, we don't even know how it could have been built. The stones are far too large to have been moved by ancient humans, yet power tools and other equipment would not be invented for thousands of years. As it stands, Stonehenge remains one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world, but it's possible it could be far more mysterious and important than we could have ever imagined. Today, we still have no idea why Stonehenge would have been built in the first place. The monument doesn't seem to serve any real purpose, though we've recently begun to learn that there may be tunnels and other artifacts located deep beneath the surface. All of that aside, we've yet to learn why such an amazing structure would have been built. To make things even stranger, back in 1971, a policeman was traveling near Stonehenge when he noticed a strange blue light that seemed to be coming from one of the rocks. It was almost as if the rock had transformed into a mystical doorway, and the blue light would have led to another dimension or another area of outer space. The officer wasn't sure what was going on, but as he inspected the light, he began to hear screams. These screams stopped just as quickly as they had begun. And by the time the officer reached the rock formation, all that was left was a campfire that had since been extinguished. To this day, the mystery of what this officer may have witnessed remains unknown. Is it possible someone could have been camping out by Stonehenge as a mysterious portal opened up? Absolutely. It's also possible the person may have been swallowed up by this ancient portal, but we just don't know for sure. The Vortex of Sedona. The small town of Sedona can be found in Arizona. This town is home to a series of swirls or vortexes that seem to have been naturally created over a long period of time. However, some of the locals wonder if these vortexes could serve a more surreal purpose. Many of the natives consider these areas to be holy grounds. They're highly regarded by the people who live there, and some people say they work as doorways to transport the souls of the deceased to another realm of reality, maybe even to a distant planet or galaxy. This may seem like a far-fetched idea or some sort of science fiction, but the area has been filled with mystery for many decades, leading many people to wonder if there could be more to the vortex than meets the eye. The locals tell the story of a group of treasure hunters who came to the area in the 1950s. These hunters were curious if the swirls could hold some sort of ethereal meaning. Driven by their curiosity, they ventured out to find out as much about the vortexes as they could, though this led to one of the men disappearing, never to be seen again. The story has been passed down for generations, so we don't know for sure what happened to this man. However, they say that he stepped a little bit too close to one of the vortexes late one evening, stepping just out of the eyesight of the other hunters. Then he disappeared into thin air. Abydos. Abydos is known for being one of the oldest locations in Egypt. The area is filled with strange and mysterious hieroglyphs that researchers are continuing to understand to this day. For the most part, they have a good idea about the stories these texts tell, but there are a few details that are still a bit unclear. What makes these hieroglyphics so interesting is that they seem to show pictures of helicopters, war tanks, and even flying saucers, much like the UFOs that have been spotted in recent history. Though the entire story of Abydos would be turned on its head in 1904. A woman was born in London and went by the name of Dorothy Eady. Dorothy always felt as though she didn't belong in modern society and claimed that she was the reincarnated version of Pharaoh Seti, who would have ruled over the land of Abydos. This may sound completely ridiculous, but she had evidence to back up her outrageous claims. Dorothy spoke with researchers and was able to accurately read off the hieroglyphics that had been left behind by the ancient Egyptians. Researchers were obviously skeptical, but time and time again her claims proved to be true. She was also able to detail where the scientists and researchers found certain ancient artifacts and texts with perfect accuracy. As time passed by, Dorothy began to go by the name Seti in reference to her supposed former life. She would also tell incredible stories about doorways that had since been sealed off. She claimed that these doorways would lead to other realms of reality or other dimensions, though she had no way to enter them any longer. She tried several times to open some of these doors, but they were no longer active. We don't know for sure if this woman was telling the truth about her knowledge or if someone had been feeding her information from the inside. However, regardless, Dorothy's story has lived on and has become one of the strangest mysteries in the history of Abydos. The Stargate of Ranmasu Uyana. Ranmasu Uyana is an incredible location that can be found in Sri Lanka. Many years ago, researchers discovered an underground system of caves that had been carved into the rock. Walking through the caves will take on a journey through time, transporting you back thousands of years. Though it isn't only this that makes the caves so incredible. Carved into the stone on many of the tunnel walls are patterns that seem to closely resemble outer space and our solar system. The symbols that were used in these drawings are not fully understood, but it seems like these caves were being used to map out different parts of the universe. Though, how would people in ancient times have been able to have such a vast knowledge of stars and outer space? What makes these drawings even more creepy is that similar drawings have been found all over the world. Not only are they similar, but they're virtually identical, and each of them appears to be a map of some sort, though we don't know what these people would have been mapping out. Some researchers and theorists claim that the Ranmasu Uyana people would have been inventing a type of gateway that could transport them all around the galaxy, possibly even taking them to other dimensions. Gateways and interesting doorways are found all throughout the halls of this tunnel system, so it is certainly possible that the tunnel system could have served as a hub, allowing you to travel anywhere in space. The entryways that are lined with maps and atlases could have been used so that you could best understand where you'd be going. This is all obviously just a far-fetched theory, but it makes as much sense as any other conclusion. Considering we don't have any idea what these tunnels would have been used for, it stands to reason that intergalactic travel could have been a very real possibility. The Sumerian Staircase. We've discussed the Sumerians many times before. As far as we know, they were one of the first human civilizations to walk the other, and the roots of their society are heavily based upon the idea of divine intervention, with them repeatedly mentioning being visited by angels and gods all throughout their history. One of the most compelling examples of this is a staircase that was found. The mystery around this staircase rivals that of the Egyptian pyramids, as we have no idea what it would have been used for, and it seems like it would would have been extremely difficult for the Sumerians to have built such an amazing structure at the time. If you stand at the lowest level of the staircase and look upwards towards the top, the staircase seems to disappear into the sky, leading to it being nicknamed the Stairway to Heaven. An antique seal can be seen nearby the staircase, as well as what seems to depict gods exiting from the top of the staircase and visiting with the people of Earth. Many people say that as they look at this portrait or seal, the face of God seems to follow them wherever they go. We know this is simply an illusion, but given the strange history of the Sumerians, it's understandable how this could be super creepy. One of the most amazing things about this seal and other portraits that were found nearby is that it seems to show modern humans as well. There are images of humanoid beings that seem to be wearing watches while operating modern-day buttons or levers. It's possible this is just a misinterpretation of the ancient artwork, but we can't help but wonder if there may be much more to this staircase and the artwork than meets the eye. Maybe the Sumerians truly did find out a way to commingle with gods by creating a literal stairway to heaven. Keeping everything we've discussed in mind, it seems pretty clear that ancient humans had some sort of vast knowledge about the universe that we, as modern humans, still do not understand. The question must be asked, how could ancient civilizations have had access to such a vast amount of knowledge about the universe around them? Even today, using all of the most high-tech equipment that science has to offer, we don't fully understand our world, our solar system, or our galaxy. Yet these ancient civilizations seem to have been able to accurately map out stars and solar systems. If they were able to do this so many years ago, is it really too much to consider that they may have had ways to travel to different planets or different realms of reality? At the moment, the best theory we have to understand how these people had such a large amount of knowledge is simply divine intervention. The Sumerians provide a lot of evidence for this, with them claiming many of their inventions were shared with them by gods or angels, though we don't have enough evidence to confirm these theories to be true. Whatever you believe, we all have to admit that there was something strange going on thousands of years ago that we still don't understand today. Whether it was gateways to a different reality, or simply some sort of advanced mapping system that led these people to create such interesting architecture, we may never know. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.